Oh god, I almost died. Alright you guys, the goal for this video and today is to get the Evo out and go drive it for the first time. Now it's not going to be 100% done in this video because there's some things I still need to do that I still need to buy. And I'm waiting on my catch can to come in, which I bought a while ago, so we might have to make like a DIY catch can out of like an old can for the valve cover breathers for the time being, because right now we just don't have anything. At this point, I need to finish bleeding the coolant system. After the coolant system is bled, we need to set the biz, which is like the idle adjustment. I had to go buy a new coolant temp sensor because my other one wasn't reporting at all, and we need a coolant temp sensor for the tune. For a car to operate properly, you need to have a coolant temp sensor that can adjust properly, because the tunes work off of coolant temp, because when the car is colder, it's going to inject more fuel versus when it's hotter. Fire up the Evo. Let's get it idling for a little bit just to try to get operating temp up and try to do this biz. Alright Evo, how you doing my friend? It says the car is very cold. Very cold. New coolant temp sensor should hopefully fix that. Main thing here is I want to see if coolant temp is going to respond or not. If not, then we have a bigger issue we got to figure out. So I'm going to let it idle for a little bit. Engine sounds way smoother now. Way smoother. Still nothing. Oil pressure's going down, which is good. Oil pressure, that's always a good sign. Come on, read! Why coolant temp not reading? Why coolant temp not reading? Why no read?
It's supposed to read.
I'm gonna come back to that problem. I think I'm gonna knock out the fuel pump seals to get the back seat back in, less stuff kind of sitting around. While I'm back there, I'm also gonna throw in, actually I'm gonna do that right now. So before we get too deep into today's video, I want to talk to you guys about today's video sponsor, our friends over at Techron and their complete fuel system cleaner. After I get this in. No clicks? Dope. So because the Evo sat for so long with, it sat for 5 years with like mystery fuel in it. So because of that, we already put in some of this Techron complete fuel system cleaner. Now this stuff works awesome for any cars in general. If you do need to clean out your fuel system, I use this in all the cars that take E85. I use it in the Evo, the GTI, the WRX, they all take this. I think we even put one in the Legacy because that thing's had gas in it for like 2 years. Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna help clean out your fuel system of any just nastiness that might be built up in there. It can also, which I'm hoping in my case, fixes one of my problems, which is a sticky fuel level sensor. Because this, like I said, because this thing sat for so long with mystery fuel, a lot of the stock fuel system components that we're still using in the fuel tank, because remember, everything from the fuel pumps forward is all brand new, but that fuel tank is nasty. So this complete fuel system cleaner by Techron should help clean out some of that stuff with some of the detergents that they put in that. Now, yes, you're safe to use it on your tuned car. Yes, you're safe to use it in your modified car. Just do not use that stuff while you're running E85. If you are going to be using this complete fuel system cleaner, use it in between E85 fill-ups. So whenever you swap over to pump gas to help clean out the fuel system, toss one of those in as well, and will help keep that corrosion down to a minimum from that E85. So I'm gonna let that sit in there for a little while we're talking about fuel system stuff, because I'm still having a temperature issue where the coolant temperature isn't reporting to the dash for some reason, which is one more sensor that I can replace that should hopefully fix that problem. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna swap out the fuel level sender and the fuel pump seals real quick. They're just OEM Mitsubishi seals that we're gonna be swapping in there just to help prevent any fuel from leaking out of that tank anymore, because that's a problem that we don't want to have. So let's swap those seals, we'll get the back seat put back in, and then from there I think we're gonna run over to AutoZone to go grab that new sensor once it's ready for pickup, do a quick wheel alignment on this thing, and then we should be able to go drive it after we set the idle. So let's get to work. Fuel tank's all sealed up, back seats back in. I really need to get a set of SSL rear seats to match these front seats, but for some reason I can't get EvoScan to display any parameters from the ECM. I don't know why, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start it up again real quick. I just put a little bit more oil in it. I'm just making sure I get the oil levels right, so I'm gonna let it run for a sec. Pop back out here, let it sit, check the oil again. But while I have it up in the air, I also want to, I haven't checked to make sure the car can even roll, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in first gear while it's up here on the quick jacks, and just make sure the wheels spin. Make sure the all-wheel drive system works, because I was told I also need to re-drain the T-case and refill it also after a heat cycle, just to make sure I have the amount of proper fluid in there. I should probably do the same thing with the rear diff too, so I'm gonna get this thing fired back up again. Oh, it stalled as soon as I went into first. My e-brake was on.
Damn, I'm good.
Yeah, that would be it.
God damn it.
My e-brake was on. Yep.
This is why you need me, man.
100%. I'm looking at the e-brake and it's on.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. You got front wheel.
You got back wheel.
Okay. This front and that back one's spinning fast. This one's not. That one's not.
I don't quite know how the all-wheel drive system works in this.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be resistant. So when they're on a rack, they're gonna be stupid.
Yeah. But it's good to see they spin.
Yeah. Try it again. This one's not.
At all?
No, it's like going backwards.
Right now?
No. What the? Wait. That's weird. I couldn't even spin it.
You know what I think it might be? Which I actually might need your help on if this is the problem.
E-brake's too tight?
E-brake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I replaced the shoes. Fuck, that means I gotta redo that. To be honest, I kind of just figured the e-brake would wear down enough.
No.
Add that list of the shit to do on the list of things. We're like 3 or 4 hours in the future, or realistically, we're probably like 2 hours in the future. The e-brake problem is fixed. What ended up being the issue is I used these Duralast e-brakes, and what was happening is Duralast puts these tabs on here, and these tabs weren't letting the e-brake fully like seat. So because of that, the wheels wouldn't spin, the e-brake would stay locked. So now we have the e-brake down and all the wheels spin freely. So sick. I need to check EvoScan to see if it'll work like Wally said it would, and I'm also gonna check to make sure the wheels spin. So let's fire this thing up again. All right, let me check EvoScan. EvoScan is working. It is reading coolant temp, so if the ECU is seeing it, that's good. That means it's the other sensor that sends signal to the dash, which isn't working, so I'll go pick that up here in a minute. I'm gonna let this thing warm up now that I know that it's seeing its coolant temp. I'm gonna see if I can change it to Fahrenheit though, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'm gonna let it get up to operating temp. You can see the idle starting to fix itself a little bit as it sees coolant temp. We still need to adjust idling screw, but I'm gonna try to get the rest of the air bubbles out of the coolant up there just to get this step kind of done with. So we're at 87 degrees Celsius. I don't know why it's reading in Celsius, but it's reading in Celsius, so I don't know. And on top of that, you can actually hear the exhaust now. Fuck yeah. So it's a couple hours in the future, you guys. I've been knocking out a lot of the little bullshit stuff like cleaning off threads on caps, securing up brake lines, things like that. Things that weren't really video worthy in my opinion. So what I need to do now is start the car, let it run again, put it in first gear and kind of let some fluid move around the transfer case and the rear diff. We need to drain out the transfer case after that and then replace it with that red line stuff that I was talking about before. So let's let it run, let the wheels spin.
Runs me over. Alright, we're just gonna let that fluid circulate in the transfer case. Alright? Hey, it worked. This side started spinning. You're welcome. What'd you do? I kicked it with my foot. It lifted my ass around. Yeah, don't do that again. You can't slow it down. Oh, we have slow down. We have slow down. Check engine light for disconnecting the idle air control valve. So you know what? At least it knew that I unplugged it. An expensive part. This shit's like $400.
Well, we were close to being able to drive it since the idle air control valve is faulty and it's not working, which kind of sucks. I thought I had a spare one somewhere. I don't think I do. That really sucks. Those are like $450 doodads. And I don't think I have an extra one. Oh, it looks like I'm spending another $450 on another sensor for this stupid car. It's not stupid, I'm sorry, I take that back. But I'm gonna go eat some food real quick. We've been out here all day. The only things left to do before we drive the car, aside from the idle air control valve, drain the T case, put new fluid in, front end wheel alignment, oh, and swap out this coolant temp sensor for the gauge cluster. So I'm gonna go pick up that cluster switch, grab some food, and then I'll probably come back out tonight and knock out a little bit more stuff on this thing. All right, I am back from the auto parts store. So I was able to snag a new coolant temp sensor, Duralast. It'll get the job done. Apparently there's two coolant temperature sensors on these engines. One of them sends information to the ECM, the other one sends information to the cluster, which in my opinion is a little bit weird. It's a little bit redundant to have two coolant temp sensors that do the same thing. It is what it is, I guess. One of them just seems to be more accurate than the other one. This one's just kind of like a switch where it just kind of does, I don't know, does something. So I'm going to get this plugged in. Also, my dumbass didn't unplug the idle air control valve. I unplugged the I unplugged the TPS. So I'm gonna plug that back in, start the car, unplug the actual idle air control valve, and then we'll try again and see what happens. I got that sensor swapped out. I don't think that was the issue, but the old one was pretty nasty, and I'll show it to you in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing started, and then while it's running, come in here and disconnect the idle air control valve underneath the intercooler piping and see what exactly happened. I don't think we're getting anything. That really sucks. Well, no change with the idle air control valve disconnected, so looks like I have to order a new one. Well, that sucks. Ordered a new idle air control valve, so that'll be here in a while. This was the other sensor that I pulled out. As you guys can see, it's just covered in like rust and like schmoo. So I don't think that this was the problem because the gauge cluster still isn't reading coolant temperature. So I think it's something in the physical gauge itself. So I'll tear into that tomorrow morning. I guess I'll just continue knocking out all the other stuff that we need to be able to do to get this car done. So I'm gonna get this thing back up in the air. I'm gonna drain the transfer case, get all that old fluid out, and then put in this new red line heavy duty stuff. Probably put the car back up in the air, just let it run for a minute while the wheels are spinning, get some of that fluid moving around, and add more as needed. So let's get it done. Salutations, my friend. It's the next day. So, we're gonna go drive the Evo here in a minute. Even though it's got a bad idle air control valve, we can still drive it. The idle's just gonna be high. If your idle air control valve is stuck, it's gonna be stuck in 2 positions, probably open or closed. Ours is stuck open, so it's keeping the idle around like 2,000 RPM and kind of fluctuating there. Wally told me to pop it off to make sure that there is an O-ring on there, so we're gonna do that. I need to do a quick front end alignment on this thing just to get the wheels a little bit more straight. We are gonna take it to an actual shop and have them align it. We have this stuff to DIY align cars. I just, to be honest, don't really care to. So I'm gonna start off with that. I'm just gonna get the front end aligned a little bit more. The driver's side already looks pretty spot on. The passenger side needs a little bit of adjustment. It's a little towed out, so I just need to tow it in. And then I think we should be good there. Then I'm gonna pop off that idle air control valve real quick, double check that and see what exactly is going on there. If it is missing the O-ring, that should be an easy fix. Pop the O-ring in and go from there. So let's go ahead and align this thing real quick. So I got the old IACV out. It's not even old, it looks brand new. I found the part number on here, which is right there. Googled it, it's actually a $20 eBay special one from whoever had the car prior, and I used it thinking it was OEM and new, so that kind of sucks. I bought a $60 eBay one before I shell out the money for a $450 one. Hopefully the $60 one works. Wally was saying that it's hit or miss for some people, but if it works for us, it works for us. So for now, I'm just gonna toss this thing back in. I wanted to drive the Evo this morning, but as you can see, there's clearly not enough room. The Outback needs to get pushed over. I can't really get it out, and I can't push that by myself. So hopefully by the time I get done with this, I may have some help pushing that thing. If not, then I'm gonna have to wait. I mean, it's a pretty crappy day too. Back to normal Washington rain. Always fun. We love it. No, we don't. It sucks. Seems to be idling better. Very weird. Matt, let's push Chewy. Take this thing up the street real quick. At least Chewy's not terribly heavy. Well, I will say the rain does make traction questionable. You want to come with me on the maiden voyage real quick? All right, we verified it moves back and forth. Reversed and first gear work. Those are the only ones that we know work. So let's go mob this thing around the neighborhood real quick. We can't really get on it. We have a bad idle air control valve. You just want to toss that in the cup holder inside the car. I can't get that thing to go in. I have to aug out the hood a little bit more. So let's go drive this thing around a little bit. See if it'll actually at least drive. The clutch needs to be bled. There's no seatbelt on that side. There's a seatbelt but no buckle.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm working on it, man. Weird. Fuck, we're driving.
It's weird driving an Evo.
We are driving. Oh. Oh my god, dude. We're driving an Evo.
Actually, it seems like it runs pretty well.
Right? Dude, we're driving an Evo. What?
Wow.
Should I try to get in a boost?
I don't know. I ain't got no fucking seatbelt. That sounded interesting.
Yeah, the boost cut.
That guy's like, what the fuck is he doing?
What? Oh, dude. You can definitely hear the brakes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a thumbnail real quick. I'm just pumped it fucking runs, dude. And it drives.
Right?
It fucking drives. Sick. Fuck yes, you guys. The Evo works. It drives. Now, it's not, like I said, it's not done. I still need this new idle air control valve. The brakes sound like they're dragging, so I need to take a look at those. The brakes also need to be re-bled, so it could be that the pistons aren't doing full actuation. On top of that, I think the T-case and the trans need more fluid, so I'll jack it up and fill those, top those off later. I'm gonna put the front dust shields back on for the brakes. I don't know why I took them off. They're at the shop. I'll put those back on. It's like 4 screws, easy deal. I just need to finish sandblasting them, powder coat them real quick. Aside from that, like it drove, overall, I'd say it drove pretty good, right? Yeah, it's the idle's a little bit wonky. I tried to get into boost and I think Wally has boost turned off right now, or boost cut, so no boost, but you know, that's all right. It moves under its own power, which is the goal for what I wanted to achieve in this video. So over the next couple of days, I'm gonna be getting in the last of the Evo parts to get this thing like running and driving. We have a tune for this car with Wally next month. In the meantime, I'm going to start moving a lot of the stuff from the garage over to the shop, and we're going to start utilizing the shop space a lot more. All the fabrication stuff is going over there, all the out front engines that I have here that I'm going to assemble. I got a really cool, you guys will see more of this in a future video, but I wanted to show you guys this. We got a really cool Subaru specific engine stand from Company 23 that we're going to be moving over there also. But dude, I'm just pumped the Evo works. And it's not leaking any gas, like all the small problems are starting to get fixed, which is good with this car. It's the first time this car's driven in so many years, so I'm not expecting it to be perfect right off the bat, but that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you guys are oh, and two other things if you made it this far into the video. I ordered the new turbo for the STI. That actually already shipped. I ordered it this morning and it already shipped. We have a big 76-75 with a Sportsman's cover on it, 1.16 AR, so it should give us some really good top end power on that turbo. It's a big turbo. It is the biggest turbo I've ever bought. And then on top of that, we're gonna be starting back up on the STI next week. I'm gonna take that spare EG33 that I have over to the shop, mock it up in the engine bay, start remaking the new engine harness, fabricating the stuff we need to fabricate and making the changes that we need to make, so that way when we get our engine back from out front, it's gonna be as easy as putting the engine in, bolting everything on. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. If you guys are pumped with what's coming up with this, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already and you want to be, I'm not your dad, I'm not going to tell you to, I'm not going to make you, I'm not your brother, I'm not your sister, I'm just your friend. You can do it if you want to. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.